Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Grape fam. Thank you for tuning in on the weekly update. It's 12th August, and like every time, we'll start with stats. Let's take a look at the price of grape. The grape's price is sitting at an all-time low of $0.5. The previous lows were $0.75 and $0.7 respectively. This has been the lowest the grapes has been. Now, I'm sure you would be thinking what you can do to help grape. The best thing you can do right now is buy grapes directly off the market and use those grapes to either single stick or create liquidity pairs. Moving on, wine's price is sitting at $51. It is down about 16.7% in the last 24 hours. Our previous low was around $36, and right now wine is sitting at $51. Now you would be thinking, what is happening with wine? Nothing is wrong with wine. This may be a result of people zapping in their wine in the wine press. Now what Zap does is that it sells half of your wine for MIM and then pairs it with wine to stake it in the wine press. This also builds liquidity for wine. So in the long run, it's only going to benefit wine. Now let's take a look at the TVL of Grape Finance. It's sitting at $4.3 million, which is down since the last time we talked. Now this is to be expected because TVL is calculated through the price of grape and wine. Once the prices of grape and wine increases, the TVL should increase with it. Now let's take a look at the floor price of both the NFT collections. First up is the Winery collection. Its floor price is sitting at 4 AVX, which is down compared to last week. But the floor is too thin and it can be a good buying opportunity. Next up is the Winters collection, which is also the NFT for Winemaker. Its floor is sitting at 0.3 AVX. The floor of Winters is also down compared to last week, but it may be because the price of vintage is falling. Worry not, the developer has repeatedly said that he is going to bring updates and utilities for the vintage token. Please remember to stake your S vintage in the vineyard to earn wine. It has a daily APR of 0.87%. It's time to talk about the updates that happened during the week. The first update is the release of Winepress and the second is the casino. For those of you who don't know, Winepress has been inspired by very successful EMP's detonator. The concept is same. You lock your LP tokens to generate returns. You can earn a max return of 350% on your investment. There's a 5% tax on claiming your rewards, and there are no taxes for compounding. The more you compound, the further you push your ROI. Winepress was built to build liquidity around wine, and it has been working greatly so far. There's also different types of lotteries. There's a top deposit price. A major use case was also introduced in Winepress. You can now buy grapes to buy tickets for lotteries. All of the tickets received as grapes will be burned by the team. There's a very interesting thing in Winepress called assassination. Now what is assassination, you would be asking? If you're someone who only claims without compounding, then a user can come in and assassinate you. This means that you will no longer earn a return after 350%, and any yield over 350% is paid to the user who initiated the assassination. So the game is on. Now just like EMP, there are also referrals. Send these referrals to your friends, your grandmother and your grandparents, and you get a tiny kickback from their deposits. This is all for the Winepress. Let's move on now to Grape Casino. The first thing that you need to know before participating in the casino is that you would need to buy tickets for the casino. These tickets can only be purchased through Grape. If you don't have Grape, then just click here on the Get Grape. It will take you to Box Swap and then you will be able to buy Grape. There are 4 different types of game in the casino right now: coin toss, dice game, mystery wheel, and slots. I currently have 10 tickets sitting in my wallet, so let's see if we can win something. Okay, which game should we play? Let's play coin toss. Okay, betting yes, flip. So I just lost 10 tickets, but that's okay. All these games are very easy to play and provides a use case for Grape. I remember LB saying in the AMA that on the first day of launch of the casino, over 6,000 grapes were used in the casino. For all the ultra degens out there, this might be something that you like. These were all the major updates for the week. It's now time to do a recap of what was said in the AMA. First up, a very interesting question was asked by our valued OG member Pandy Bear. They asked what are the plans of creating in real life value and what is the end goal of Grape Finance. To that, LB replied that the goal is as same as before, to create Grape as a center of DeFi hub, and we are doing just that through Liquid Capital. A very successful launch with 3 million raised and close to 40 plus partners. All these communities will be using Winium, that is the lending and borrowing of Grape Finance, and therefore benefiting the Grape ecosystem with the revenue. Therefore, Grape can become a revenue-based DeFi protocol by providing services through Winium, Liquid Capital, etc. This can help with eliminating rewards through inflation completely, something like GMX. But this should take time because good things always take time. In the AMA, LB also mentioned something about a PEG campaign from Ames DeFi. To sum it up, what the PEG campaign will do through Ames DeFi is that you will stake your Grape meme LP. The protocol will then break your LPs, stake the Grape in single stake, and use the meme to buy Grape. This should bring a lot of buy pressure to the Grape. Don't worry, your LPs will be safe and you will be able to remove them anytime. Once you remove liquidity, what the contract does is that it pays you back in Grape meme tokens. So let's say if you want to remove liquidity, what the contract will do is that it will pair Grape and meme again and give you back the LP tokens that you deposited. More info on this should roll out soon, so watch out for announcements. Info regarding Winemaker was also discussed in the AMA. LB mentioned that it is important to keep the hype and the momentum going. Winemaker will be integrated in the Grape ecosystem in the future. We already saw how it took 5% of the supply of Grape off the market. For now, it's a completely new different product that will attract different types of market and also providing an extra use case for Grape. I already mentioned in the previous recap that new skills, new tools will be also added in the future. LB also mentioned that the S vintage pool is going to be boosted, so now might be the time to buy vintage and stake it in the cellar. Some amazing info regarding Winium, which is the lending and borrowing of Grape Finance, was also shared in the AMA. Now if you are someone who's auto compounding your LPs in the Magic Auto Vault, you would be able to borrow against your receipts, which means you don't even have to unstake your LPs from Magic Auto Vaults. The only thing you have to deposit is the receipt that you received during the staking of your LPs and then use that to borrow against. Imagine that, borrowing against your asset while it's auto compounding in a pool. It's gonna be game changer. A new token for Winium will be launched that will be called Winnie, which will be a revenue sharing and part royalty token. Just like GMX, whereby holding that token you get paid in blue chips. More info will soon release on this. There will also be a token locking for the absolute bullish people. Lending and borrowing will become core feature of Grape, and it is going to take us away from degen DeFi to actual service providing. There are usually a lot of questions regarding Nodes version 2 and it has been discussed a lot of times. Not much info was shared in the AMA regarding version 2 other than the fact that it's still in the plans. One thing LB mentioned that could be a possibility is that once we have a revenue model, then we can utilize that revenue by migrating the nodes from that is dependent on a reward pool to one that is supplemented by actual revenue. Yes, it will be difficult, but it's also something that has never been done before. To end the recap, I would like to say what Nikki said in the AMA. Are we done because we were under peg? No, we are not even close to done. Yes, times are difficult due to reasons like market conditions, But we have to remember that we also survived many things like the great depack of stables, the Ukraine situation, etc. My point is, we will get through it and we will survive and we will come out of this. My point is, we are innovating in a difficult time so that when things in the market improve, we'll be well ahead than most of the non innovative projects. Remember, guys, innovation is the key. Thank you all for tuning in the recap. Make sure you pop over in the Grape chat. Keep the morale high. Peace.